Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for joining the Beyond the Bag Challenge webinar. We'll be getting started in just a few minutes, but while you are joining us and coming on, please say hello in the chat and where you're coming from. I'm really excited to have you all here, and thanks so much. And if you're just joining us, welcome. Really excited to have you all here. We're greeting everyone in the chat and seeing participants from all over the world, which is really cool. So please say hello, let us know where you're from, and we'll get started in just a minute. All right, we are going to get started. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you are joining us from all over the world. If you haven't yet, say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from. I'm Natalia. I'm with the OpenIDEO team. And in the next hour, we're excited to share a little bit more about the challenge from our team and from our partners, closed loop partners. A couple of quick housekeeping items before we jump in. We sent in a lot of questions to us as you RSVP'd for the webinar. Thank you so much for those questions. And I'm sure there will be more throughout this call. So keep them coming in the chat. We'll be looking at those. And while we can't address them all in this session, we will be following up in continued communications and touch points. So please ask us whatever is on your mind. And by way of introduction, I am Natalia from the IDEO team, and I'm joined here by Chris and Danielle, who you might see in the headshots as you scroll through. And to kick us off, I'd like to hand off to Kate Daly, who is the Managing Director at the Center for the Circular Economy at Closed Loop Partners, joining us today to talk a bit about their involvement as well.
Great. Thank you, Natalia. And so great to see 200 plus people joining this webinar to learn more about the work that we're doing with the consortium to reinvent the retail bag. By way of introduction, my organization, the Center for the Circular Economy at Closed Loop Partners, is an innovation hub. We conduct research, analysis, and collaboration to accelerate the transition to a circular economy in which materials are shared, reused, and continuously cycled. Closed Loop Partners is the managing partner of the consortium to reinvent the retail bag. And we've launched the Beyond the Bag initiative in partnership with our corporate collaborators and with IDEO in order to create a multi-year initiative across retail sectors to identify, test, and implement innovative new bag designs that serve the function of today's single-use plastic bag and deliver ease and convenience for customers, but lessen the impact on the environment that we're all very aware of that single-use plastic bags have in our waterways, our landfills. And so we've launched the Beyond the Bag Challenge in partnership with IDEO to identify, test, and scale affordable, accessible, and less wasteful designs and delivery solutions to get goods home. And so you'll see here that we're very proud to have as our partners, as our founding partners, CVS Health, Target, and Walmart, and joined by Kroger and Walgreens. Our environmental partners are Conservation International and Ocean Conservancy. And part of the problem that we're solving for is that we use 100 billion single-use plastic bags a year in the US. We use them for an average of 12 minutes, and then they end up where they shouldn't usually. We don't want them in a landfill. They become a top 10 beach litter item. And there are alternatives that exist. We're all familiar with these, but they can be costly and inconvenient and often trade one environmental issue for another. And we see challenges with them scaling across the entire United States. And so that's why we've partnered with these leaders in retail brands in order to solve for this challenge and identify a path forward for a less wasteful future. And we're so thrilled and looking forward to all of the solutions and ideas that all of you are going to bring, and I can't wait to see them. So I'll hand this back over to IDEO and Chris to get us started.
And thanks all for joining us. So if you don't know us already, we are OpenIDEO. We are IDEO's open innovation arm. And so we exist to accelerate and diverse problem solvers to really transform the world into a more equitable, innovative place. We've launched and hosted over 76 challenges in 200 countries with over 20,000 submissions and 32 global chapters in cities around the world, many of whom I imagine are joining and listening in. So thanks so much all for joining us, and I'll hand it over to Natalia.
Amazing. So let's get into the challenge itself. This is the question that we are asking you all to solve for in the next few weeks. How might we transport goods from retailer to destination in a way that is compatible with diverse retail systems, delivers ease and convenience for customers, and reduces environmental impact? And this challenge really is aiming to identify innovative new design solutions that serve the function of today's single-use plastic retail bag while still making it easy for customers to get their goods home and have the great experience that they're used to. So if you advance. And we're really excited about the momentum that we're already seeing around this challenge and the visibility that we hope it brings to emerging solutions like yours as you submit them on the platform. It's really a way to signal to the world that change is coming, and we invite you to take a look at this press and at the challenge on the platform as well, and follow along using the hashtag #BeyondTheBag tag. So how does the challenge invite you to share solutions? There are 5 stages of this challenge, and we are currently in the open call, which runs until Friday, September 4th at midnight. And you can find much more detail about the challenge timeline and what happens during each phase on the website. But to provide a brief overview, we've already dived into the ideation phase. We're accepting proposals, and we'll continue to go on until Friday the 4th. Please mark that date in your calendars, set multiple reminders, put a sticky note on your desk, because after that we won't be able to accept further proposals. And following that phase, we have a shortlisting phase where some of the judges from the consortium and OpenIDEO select proposals to move forward into refinement. And during that phase, up to 60 teams over a period of a few weeks will have a chance to further ideate on their concepts, get some coaching from IDEO, and really show us a bit more about the human side of their idea. We then move into final selection with the consortium and OpenIDEO selecting proposals to move forward to be announced and to be advanced into the accelerator, which we'll talk a bit more about in a moment. And we're so excited for this challenge to be offering a $1 million prize to be spread amongst the innovators who are advanced. And so that will be broken down into support for innovators across multiple stages of development. There's the Emerging Innovator Award, the Mid-Stage Innovator Award, and the Advanced Solutions Award. And all of this content is available on the challenge brief, so please take a look to go deeper there. One of the things that we're most excited about is to invite and advance the most promising concepts to move forward into the accelerator. This is for promising early and growth stage winners, and it's an option that's available, though not required in terms of participation. During the accelerator, teams will be working really closely with IDEO and our designers to progress their concepts and move towards market scale readiness. This will happen through targeted curriculum, mentorship, iterative prototyping, and design. And anyone in the accelerator will also receive access to the retail and recovery system industries to test and enhance their solutions. We're focusing throughout the accelerator on learning through doing and piloting in order to understand whether a solution might hold potential for piloting with the consortium. And some selected advanced solutions will also have access to testing and prototyping and potential piloting opportunities in parallel with the accelerator. And I'll hand over to Danielle to tell you a bit more about participation tracks.
Great, thank you, Natalia. So for this challenge, we have 3 tracks you can select from if you are a community member and joining the challenge. The first is the publicly viewable submissions, and this is for innovators who want their concepts to be visible to the public and to receive development support from the entire OpenIDEO community. This allows the submissions to be viewable to the public, and if you don't have a fully formed solution, but have an early stage concept, there is a form in this public channel so that we can potentially match you with another innovator. The second option is the non-public submission track. We understand that not all innovators will want to share their ideas publicly, and to account for this, we have created a submission channel for those innovators and companies who wish to opt out of sharing their ideas openly with the broader public. If this is you and you would prefer your idea to be viewable only to a panel of judges, please select this track. The third option is the advanced solutions track, and these are for later stage established companies with standing relationships with consortium partners or similar retailers and who have ready to scale solutions. This submission track should only be considered by existing and large companies, and participants will be required to demonstrate market and scale readiness as well as sustainability. Submission requirements will differ from the innovation challenge, and advanced solution applicants will not be eligible to complete or to participate in the accelerator. Instead, these applicants will be required to complete formal testing, certifications, and life cycle requirements in preparation for piloting opportunities. Obviously, where that's an option during the time of a pandemic. If you believe you are an advanced solution, please fill out the pre-submission form, and then which you can find in the brief. A very important note for any of these tracks, please do not submit confidential information as part of your application. We encourage you to think thoughtfully with your team after reviewing the 3 tracks so you can decide which fits your needs and which feels more aligned with your process. We encourage you to review the terms and conditions, and you'll notice this pop up as you submit your submission on the platform. Cool. Great, so here's how to submit your idea onto the platform. Going to the challenge page, deciding which track that you would like to submit to, editing your contribution, and then saving and publishing. For folks who are submitting on the non-public channel, it automatically saves when you publish, and all participants, all teams, all organizations have the ability to edit and revise their submissions up until the time of 23:03 on Friday, September 4th. One sticking note for saving your submissions, you do need to have text in all of the required fields before you can save as a draft or to publish. So if you're not completely done building out your submission, we advise you to use any kind of placeholder text in order for you to save. And you can use something very simple like in progress, or even a call to action if you would like other participants or teams to reach out.
Thanks, Danielle. So as we think as a community about this challenge question, we'd like to share some background information that can also be found in the report that lives on our website. As you might know, for decades, the single-use plastic bag has reigned as the dominant solution for one of the most common human activities, getting a purchase home. And that popularity comes at a great cost. Almost all plastic bags end up in a landfill, are incinerated, or leak into the environment as trash. And there are really two main challenges that stem from the raw material usage and the material recovery after use. The majority of single-use plastic bags are made from low-cost fossil fuel derived virgin plastic, so they're not compostable. And although they're technically recyclable in a separated waste stream with other flexible film plastics, bags generally wind up in the landfill, or in the wrong recycling stream, or in the natural environment. And additionally, many customers aren't sure of the most sustainable choice, as alternatives made from paper or reusable bags, or plastic in a more durable long-term form, have their own environmental footprint and cost. And so the trade-offs aren't always easy to decipher. Change is coming with the imperative of consumer demand and increasing regulations on the single-use plastic bag, and also single-use plastics in general, not only in the United States, but also around the world. And so it's really an amazing moment for designers to be looking at solutions to this problem. And so instead of giving out bags and containers for customers to use and throw away, brands and customers are experimenting with many, many new models. And what we'd like to do in the next couple of slides is show some really cool opportunity areas that not only consider a bag, but also other systems and solutions that help to change behavior and some of that environmental cost. So the first opportunity area is reusable models. And so this is about ownership of a vessel throughout its life cycle, often centered around higher quality packaging that can move back and forth between retail brands and consumers within a user-friendly system. By creating a process in addition to a product, brands can deliver amazing impact, and the solutions aren't just eliminating waste in a single-use case, but also reinforcing behavior change away from single-use habits. Of course, considerations for solutions like this will be around making sure that when the object does complete its life, it is recovered in a way that is still sustainable. Bagless solutions are another amazing opportunity area within this topic. If you think about what if the world actually doesn't need to replace the bag, but really to eliminate bags altogether. And so on the shortest, smallest term level, this could be as simple as creating an incentive for consumers to carry products bag-free, but on the longest, biggest term level, this could mean systems and technology-driven solutions, such as drones and autonomous vehicles and tech-enabled delivery. And really, the responsibility here shifts dramatically in one of two directions. It's either on the brand to get an unpackaged delivery to someone's doorstep, or it's on the customer to pick up their product and get it home on their own. So some really interesting potential ideation that you might do around this category as well. And the last category in the opportunity areas is innovative materials. So these are breaking down the traditional paper versus plastic paradigm for secondary packaging, and experimental production methods are becoming less resource intensive, and technology is opening up new opportunities to deliver value to customers through the bag itself. We're already seeing on the Challenge platform a lot of really cool ideas in this space, as well as reusable models and bagless solutions. So if you have an idea like this, or even one perhaps that surprises us, we really do welcome you to submit that on the platform, and you'll see right away the community engaging with your idea. And we'll of course be reading those as well. So 3 opportunity areas for you to keep in mind as you are diving in online. And as you're designing, ideating, and imagining, we also have a couple of customer interaction points to help fuel your thinking. So these are moments that you can imagine in a journey map as someone obtains their goods and then goes through the process of getting them home or to their final destination. So the first one is the point of sale checkout. This is the really familiar moment in which customers transition from browsing goods in a store to actually taking them home. And it's a key design opportunity for companies looking to provide a delightful and memorable customer experience because of that sort of in-person component. There are so many changes rapidly emerging to this experience, including automated self-checkout and in-store tracking technology in terms of where and how a transaction takes place. And retailers are seeking to implement new ways of interacting with customers at the point of sale by leveraging the existing checkout space, but also new kiosks and constraints associated with COVID and some of the spatial and interaction changes that are happening there. The retail experience is rapidly evolving here, and so many customers are also now shopping online and interacting with autonomous systems, which we'll share more about in a moment. The second customer interaction point is in-store pickup, which many of you might have engaged with in the last few months. So an increasing number of customers are buying online and then picking up in store, whether again at a dedicated kiosk, curbside in their vehicles, or via storage lockers. And so the flow of product is also changing as there are new channels to return, options, and loops for customers are coming back into stores and then coming back into their homes. Some really interesting opportunities for journey flow and design around that. And the last customer interaction point is local delivery from retailer. This is an emerging appetite in the localized community, and especially more recently, with delivery services created and that bring new opportunities for bags, but also bag alternatives. There are also a number of new stakeholders that can be involved in this kind of moment, new needs that arise, and the responsibilities of retailers, but also customers and delivery couriers are redefined. An increasing number of retailers are converting excess space in their stores into micro-fulfillment centers as well. And while some retailers have their own delivery systems, a large number of third-party gig services are also acting as a bridge, and that creates consistency opportunities and also opportunities for a number of new companies to supply ideas and systems that can plug into wider retail environments. And the world really needs this change across all of the opportunity areas and the customer interaction points. So many in the retail industry have been working towards a sustainable bag for years, and really, really excited to see the solutions that you come up with, whether they are in container form or more of an experience design and systems design solution.
So as you begin to design your ideas and your concepts, there are many resources available to you, and all the information that Natalia just overviewed with you that you heard is available on the challenge website. Oh, pardon. So as you can see, we are aiming to make this challenge as accessible as possible. You'll find the report, A New Way Home, that goes deeper into the history of the plastic bag, recovery challenges, infrastructure, and opportunities for innovation. There's also use cases and personas to help you anchor in human experiences that center around getting goods home. And there's also a resources page with information on certifications and technical information related to sourcing, reusable life, and recovery. And you will also find in our additional resources, the challenge brief and all of these submission questions for all 3 submission tracks translated into multiple languages.
Thanks, Danielle. So again, we're so excited to see your solutions on the platform and to have you join us in the challenge and potentially the accelerator and beyond. But you might be wondering what we're looking for in solutions. And so I'd love to share a little bit more about some of the evaluation criteria that we'll be assessing solutions with. Successful solutions will strive to be compatible in diverse retail systems, deliver, again, the ease and convenience of the single-use plastic bag to consumers, and then, of course, still be environmentally low impact. And so Solutions can address, again, everything from a new bag material to systems and completely bagless experiences. It's all about transporting products from point of sale to final destination. And this challenge is not seeking to address inter-region shipping or long-distance delivery, so that's something to note. So if you go ahead, let's get into some of these criteria. The criteria are broken down into 3 categories: people, planet, and business. And so we'll talk through each of those, and all of this is also on the brief if you'd like to go deeper. For people, there are really 4 things that we're thinking about. And the first is customer performance. Again, because we really want the solution to maintain the ease and convenience that the single-use plastic bag provides. We will be looking at performance standards, especially if it is a bag, around being able to carry a certain amount of weight and over a certain amount of distance. So take a look at that on the challenge brief. The second is retailer performance. And so does the solution seek to integrate into the environment? Is it able to integrate into safe and efficient workflows and add value, perhaps with new flow in the store or some kind of delight for the customers that helps to bring people back? Third, accessibility and inclusivity. The plastic bag does have some advantages around being a container that many can use. And so as we think about alternative solutions, we want to make sure that they could be used as by many different kinds of people. And finally, health and safety. We know that we are living in different times, and so we are always thinking about, but especially now, compliance with local, state, and federal regulations, and ultimately are interested in solutions that have the potential to scale in the US. Although we are looking at solutions from around the world and know that many of you on this call will have amazing ideas from many corners of the earth. So we are accepting solutions globally, but are interested to know how you might begin to design towards the regulations that exist in the US. And if you have questions on those, there are more resources and information available on the resources page, which is linked in the challenge brief. You go to business. So 4 things in this category as well. We are thinking in classic human-centered design IDEO fashion about feasibility and viability. So both, is the solution something that is technically realizable soon, or at least offering a pathway towards that ability to be produced? And that's really because we want to make these solutions real soon, and so want to be able to know your plans to move towards that. And then viability, really understanding the value that you're creating for the retailer, the cost of the item that you're producing, and some of the other sort of business elements to your concept and the engine that drives it. For adaptability, we really want to know that it is going to be able to integrate into the systems that we have now, but also have the potential longer term to adapt as things change, as they really are right now. So thinking about self-checkout and some of the policy that is coming, just give us a taste for how you are thinking about your solution changing and adapting over time. And finally, marketplace, as I mentioned, looking globally, but really interested in North America and the US for implementation. We understand that the solution is going to go through a journey over several months. And so it doesn't necessarily need to be implementable in the US tomorrow. So if you provide lots of detail around how it currently works in your country or region, that will help us evaluate as well the potential that it might have as it goes on that journey. And the last criteria bucket is planet. Of course, this is so core to the challenge. We really are looking for solutions that are more circular and have the potential to lessen or completely eliminate environmental and social harms. So we'll be thinking about the upstream sourcing and production, the use during life of the solution, and then how its components are recoverable at the end. There is, again, so much information on the resources page of our challenge brief about this. And so if you have questions about what kinds of certifications might exist for your solution, or how we're thinking about these three elements, you can go there and see a bit more information. We'll also be looking to you to share a good amount of information with us about how you are thinking about the full life cycle of your solution. So please take a look at those resources, but also help us understand as you fill out your form what your solution is made out of, how you've thought about its breakdown at the end, and kind of what you imagine as its full journey from the materials that go in all the way to at the end, recovering those materials. And kind of throughout your submission, we really, really do encourage you to provide as much detail as possible so that we know where you are and where you're thinking of going. And that's especially true if you're early stage in your concept creation. The more detail that you can provide to us about what your vision is and how you're starting to think about these various evaluation criteria will just help us so much in giving your concept the attention and consideration that it deserves. So please be thorough, especially in this last category.
Thank you, Natalia. And then that leads directly into the submission requirements, which we'll chat about now. We're asking folks to submit a solution overview, a technical overview, a business plan, a life cycle overview, and a prototype. For those innovators who would prefer to opt out of sharing their submission publicly and instead have content reviewed only by the panel and the Beyond the Bag partners and panel of judges, you may select the non-publicly viewable submission channel, and participants are strongly encouraged to share their life cycle assessment data if available. And for those shortlisted ideas who move forward into refinement, we'll ask you to go deeper on your concept and submission form from the ideas phase and add an additional layer through testing and feedback guided by our team. The ideas that progress will be selected by OpenIDEO and the consortium partners. Great, now I'd love to hand it over to Kate Daly to provide some perspective on what the consortium partners are most excited about regarding the challenge.
Thanks, Danielle. And certainly all of the consortium partners and closed loop partners are so excited to see what all of you on this call come up with. We're certainly looking for solutions from around the world that are accessible and inclusive, that ultimately we can apply within the US context of our retail partners. And so in order to transition away from the single-use plastic bag, the consortium's founding partners have already invested heavily in bag alternatives and alternative systems in recent years. Some of you would have seen these if you shop at any of these stores. And I'm going to share a few examples of the kind of work that our partners have been doing leading up to this initiative and the 3-year strategy for innovative change that the consortium has undertaken. So first, taking a look at CVS Health. CVS partnered with Neuro, which is an autonomous self-driving vehicles company, to deliver their goods. They also in the past have launched a bag incentive program to incentivize their customers to bring and remember to bring a reusable bag. And certainly CVS Health, like our other partners, really puts their customers first and are looking at the collective impact that they can now have by joining with other retailers, other consortium partners, to go even further in identifying solutions. And our partner Target has purchased Shipt, a delivery service, and through that partnership, they've expanded their curbside pickup, and they also offer a reusable bag incentive program. And they're very mindful of reducing the carbon footprint of the bag solutions that they come up with, of not having unintended consequences from the alternatives that we all develop together, and really seeing that the collaborative approach is key if we're going to make a systemic change across the industry. And our partner Walmart, another of our founding partners, has made significant investments in online grocery pickup and in-home delivery. And certainly all 3 of these founders have really been focused on what is the future of retail And how do we make sure that the way that we get goods from store to home aligns with the future of retail, and that those solutions are affordable and practical and serve the needs of customers, and at the same time are forward looking and really identify not just the needs of today, but the needs of tomorrow. And so overall, I'd say with all three of these partners, the solutions that I've shared are just a handful of examples. They represent just a small fraction of the solutions and investments underway at each of the partners. But I share those because I just wanted to demonstrate their willingness to adapt and invest in new technologies, some that are emerging and more futuristic than others. But they all recognize that it's going to take collaboration across retail sectors. And we have a big tent. We're bringing in suppliers, innovators, policymakers, consumer behavior specialists, recovery systems, and infrastructure investments, and other stakeholders across the entire value chain to truly address what is a global waste crisis and to scale impactful, customer-friendly, and environmentally sound solutions across the US. And so once again, the partners within the consortium are all very excited to hear your ideas. We'll cover a little bit more specifically what they're looking for in the Q&A portion. But for now, I'll pass it back to Danielle.
Thank you, Kate. Wonderful. So stay up to date with the Beyond the Bag Challenge. Again, the hashtag Beyond the Bag. Let's get the word out. And the brief and all of the resources that we have shared with you today, you can find on openideo.com. Wonderful. So now we will jump into the Q&A. We'll be addressing and answering some of the most common questions that we received during your registration. And we realize we won't be able to answer all of your questions, but we are taking them into account. And we really thank you for asking them. Wonderful. So the first question is, are you looking for a single solution?
I would say that the key thing is that when you've seen the three different opportunity areas, when you see the three different types of innovation that we've described that we're looking for, it's clear that we need a suite of solutions to serve the function of today's retail bag. Those solutions need to be affordable, accessible, and applicable across a variety of retail environments. You see that our partners include pharmacies, grocery stores. We're actively in discussions with bringing on board apparel retailers and other sectors. And so we need to have that sort of diversity of solutions to solve for all of those different types of interactions that customers have with the retail environment.
Thank you so much for that, Kate. And how do you define bag and bag alternatives?
This is such a good question. And it's not a perfect line between the two, as you can imagine. But for bags, we're really thinking about containers with holes at the top that are used to carry and transport goods of up to 22 pounds over more than 175 feet. And often they have handles. Bag alternatives are any solutions that contain or transport goods from retail to destination. And I think the delineation isn't necessarily something that will be heavily considered in the evaluation criteria. We're much more interested in the recoverability and the performance of the solution. But just to keep your thinking going, this might include tech-enabled delivery systems and products and systems, transportation, and many different kinds of designs. So we encourage you to think expansively here.
Thank you so much, Natalia. And this will be for Kate. There are products already commercially available in the marketplace right now that are certified compostable and use renewable resources. What's different about the products you are interested in?
Yeah, I would say that we all see sustainable solutions across a lot of these types of material challenges on the shelves. But in order for these solutions, the innovations that replace the current bag model to scale and truly replace the current single-use plastic bag, we're looking for comparable performance. We're looking for a price competitiveness, and it has to scale across different retail systems. It also needs to be recoverable in our infrastructure and manageable, whether it's reuse or single use, that we see an alignment with our reuse and recovery infrastructure and systems. And so we're looking at solutions that meet the evaluation criteria, and that includes performance and price competitiveness.
Thank you so much for that. And also, what is the priority between recyclability, biodegradability, compostability of solutions?
Mm-hmm. So the Beyond the Bag Challenge is one part of a larger effort that the consortium to reinvent the retail bag has undertaken. In addition to the Innovation Challenge, we're also building out resources like investing in infrastructure and looking at policy recommendations and best practices. And so the Innovation Challenge is our way of sourcing what are the answers, what are the solutions of the present and the future, and what are those material compositions, so that we then know where do we need to invest across the system. And so aligning these new design solutions with the available recovery infrastructure is critical, as well as avoiding, of course, the unintended consequences of any replacement materials. And so I really encourage everybody to take a look at A New Way Home, the publication that's on the Beyond the Bag websites, because that really provides critical information to looking at the diverse material types, how to avoid unintended consequences, and what the pathways for recovery are.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. And for Natalia, what are the specific performance standards that the partners need for the solution?
It's a great question, and we would ask first and foremost that your application include information on how the solution will work from a technical standpoint in detail. So the more that you can tell us, we will be looking for concepts, like we've said, that meet or exceed or have the potential to meet or exceed the performance of the single-use plastic bag. And in general, we will be assessing concepts from a holistic standpoint, examining the entire business case, environmental impact, and scalability. And because the solutions might vary in so many ways, I think there isn't a perfect answer here, but if you look at our additional resources and evaluation criteria, that will really give you the best insight into some of what is being looked for. A couple of technical features that should be incorporated into a new bag or bag alternative that I can mention: ease of use for customers in a variety of retail environments. You might also want to think about printability, so the ability to accommodate a logo. Certain inks may impact a product's compostability, and participants should consider the end-to-end viability of their technologies, including any factors that might impact recovery goals. Workload neutral or positive for retail staff. So really wanting to think about the experience of the people that are working in the retail environments in terms of their time and their physical well-being. We also are thinking about operational needs, so the constraints of checkout space or sort of behind cashier environments. And you also might want to think about durability and water resistance, and really how does the solution maintain structural integrity as it is being used with a variety of contents that might be cold or wet or a little bit sharp. Over many use cycles, or even in a single use case, how is it holding up? And the last thing, which is quite important, is again, this sort of ability to meet US regulatory standards, if not now, at least having sort of a pathway or a vision to meet those standards. So for example, with a reusable container needing to carry that 17 pounds to 22 pounds over 125 feet would be one way to comply with the highest standards that exist in the US. And if it is going to be touching directly a product, to think as well about sort of the health and safety regulation around containing food. So again, a lot of the certifications and the standards that are set by various regulatory bodies are linked on the resources page, and ultimately looking for something that can transport while being able to scale in the US across retailers and regulation.
Wonderful details. Thank you, Natalia. Also for you, Will you consider alternative fibers such as algae or biopolymers?
Yes, definitely. We are curious and excited to see the many kinds of innovative materials that you might be working on, and are quite open to learning from you and kind of seeing where the heat is across your ideas. So please feel free to imagine and post solutions across a variety of inputs. And I think all of us are interested and excited to see what you are working on in that category.
And will you own the intellectual property associated with my proposed solution?
This is such a good question, and please feel free to read the fine print, which is available in the challenge brief and also when you're submitting through the terms and conditions page. And specifically, you're going to want to look at section 19, paragraph 2. The short answer is that you own your IP, and so you'll, as you can see here, retain intellectual property ownership, including the trademarks, the rights, the service marks, the logos of your idea. If you post in the public channel, people can see your idea, so be sure to select the channel that is best fit for you. There's also the non-public channel, and again, the advanced solutions channel if you'd prefer for just the judges and OpenIDEO to see your concept, but you will retain your IP. And again, we really encourage you to look at these terms and conditions before you submit, so that you're really comfortable. And if you have additional questions, you can reach us at circular@ideo.com, and we're happy to elaborate.
Natalia, I believe this next question is best for Kate. Do we need to make our product available to the partners as a result of this process?
Yes, you do. That is the whole point. Let's get your products out there. We would love for you to partner with the largest retailers in the United States and have them buy your products and scale them across the US. That is what we want to do. And so, in order to do that, and I encourage all of you to read the terms and conditions, we absolutely, of course, you retain ownership of your IP. Closed Loop Partners does not have an obligation or right to take an equity stake in your company. That's all up to you. However, we do have a requirement, as you can see in Terms and Conditions, section 19, paragraph 5, that you make available your products on most favorable terms compared to a similarly situated purchaser. The right for these retail partners to purchase your product. And I would think that that is a huge goal for all of you who are joining this competition, that you'd want to see your product scale at that level.
Thank you. And building on that, actually, how will these ideas be hosted in the real world? And how important is it to have an established brand and not just an idea?
I'd say, first of all, we're really looking for a diverse range of solutions. And so we do welcome, of course, early stage solutions, and I'll let Natalia go into more details about that. But we need something that isn't on a cocktail napkin. If you have scribbled something on a napkin, please do not submit that. And Natalia, I'll let you go into a little bit more detail about early stage ideas, but we really do want to see a diversity of different types of solutions across different phases of growth and development.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, so if you imagine the journey that you and your solution will go on, it starts in the challenge, but can continue into the accelerator and beyond. And so we're open and curious to look at solutions across a variety of stages of development. And really the best way for us to know that is for you to share them on the platform and just go ahead and go for it. And that way we can take it into account and really consider it. But for early stage groups that are posting, we've included a relevant price tier. You'll remember that was sort of the first one. But we are really looking for ideas that are ready, eager, and able to take solutions forward. And so if you're in that early stage, we're going to need to see really clearly that you're conveying steps to get to operating at scale in the near term. So be sure to tell us about yourself, about your team, about your plans, and a lot of detail about your concept so that we can get a better sense of how you plan to proceed with your concept in the coming weeks and years. So we're really excited about early stage ideas. We need to know some of the meat of how things are progressing and what your plans are.
Thank you for explaining that. And also for you, Natalia. For the ideas phase, which is the first phase of the submissions, which we're currently in, do we need a prototype ready, or are concepts okay?
Great question. Yeah, so in the first phase, the ideas phase, we are requiring some representation of your concept, understanding that you may not have had time to build and produce an entire concept prototype yet. So you might share images, diagrams, 2 or 3D graphics, video, and the more developed prototype that we can see helps us really understand your solution better, and also increases your odds of advancing and kind of sharing the amazing work that you're doing with everyone else who's looking at the challenge. So we encourage you to begin planning the visual representation early, and for the refinement phase, in phase 2, we'll be requiring a bit more visual evidence and just kind of a deeper understanding of what it looks like and feels like. And so start thinking about that now, and certainly as you're submitting, please give us some MVP of kind of what your concept looks like or will look like.
Thank you for that, Natalia. And another question for you, which seems to be probably one of the most important, is how do I submit?
Great. And I know we did touch on this earlier, but as we sort of wrap up here, please submit on the challenge brief. If you go to openideo.com, you can navigate to the challenge there, or you can go directly to the URL that you see here, openideo.com/challenge-brief/beyond the bag challenge with hyphens. And once you're on the platform, you will need to make an account to be able to share your idea. If you have trouble with any of that, email us, circular@ideo.com, and we'll be quick to respond to you and help you navigate. And you can save your concept as a draft, but we encourage you to go ahead and publish it once you're in there so that everyone else can take a look at your solutions, comment, build, generate excitement, and so we can also begin to see and celebrate your concepts. If nothing else, please be sure to submit your concept by it's actually not 5 p.m. but midnight on Friday, the 4th of September. And that really, that deadline is important for you to mark down now. Again, we're just so excited to have you joining us in this challenge, to be connecting with each other on the platform. We're really building an interesting community that's passionate not only about sustainability and circularity, but the future of retail, the future of consumer goods and transportation and delivery and all of the amazing ways that we can get products and goods from retail to destinations. So join the community. You'll connect with some cool folks, and we're really excited to bring visibility to your concepts on the platform during the challenge, and to consider them, and ultimately, hopefully, to continue the journey with a number of you into the accelerator with IDEO designers and access to retail and industry insights. So really grateful that you all joined us here today. We've been in the chat, we're seeing your questions, and we'll continue to try and answer them. But if you have any more, email us, and really do email those questions. They come straight to Danielle, myself, and Chris, as well as some sharing with closed loop partners and beyond. So let us know what's on your mind. Share your submissions as soon as you'd like. And thank you so much for joining us. And I do want to just end by thanking all of our consortium partners and closed loop partners for joining us today and helping to create this amazing challenge together. Really excited for the potential and for the opportunity that it's creating for all of you. So thank you for sharing, Kate, your thoughts and perspectives as to why this challenge is such a meaningful initiative across the board to all of the partners. And thank you to all of you, the community, who have taken time as well. And we look forward to connecting with you and seeing you on the platform soon. Thanks so much, all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Goodbye. We'll see you on the challenge, on the platform. Again, circularideo.com with any questions. And we'll see you again next time.